Good morning, business marketing technology pathway students, multimedia freshmen. It's me, Mr. Cheney, with another brilliant tutorial. Today we are going to do another project that is photography based in Pixlr X editor. And what we're doing today is what's called a Colorsplash. And basically what we're doing is taking an existing photograph, a color photograph, and we're going to use layers in Pixlr to actually, the second layer will be a kind of a black and white feature, and then you actually reveal some of the color that's underneath that layer. So we're going to do that to 5 images. So you're going to find 5 original images, and then you're going to edit those 5 images and as an after, so before and an after. So you're going to have a total of 10 pictures, and just like the other photograph assignments that we did, you're going to create a folder so that you have all of those in one folder, upload it to either Google Drive or to OneDrive, and turn in the link to the entire folder. So here's how the project works. My suggestion is that you go find your pictures and put them into a folder first. So I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call it Colorsplash. So I'm going to do new folder and I'll call it Colorsplash, like so. And now I'll go back and start finding the pictures that I want to use. And I think I'm going to go with a sports theme. So I'm going to go to images and I'm going to look up some of my favorite sports guys. So I kind of like Steph Curry. So I'm going to find a cool picture of Steph Curry in a game here. That's a good one. Let's have him do a 3-point shot again. And I'm going to use the tools to actually have a large picture so that I have a clear picture too. So I think that's kind of a cool picture. It doesn't have the ball, but actually no. I'm going to do this picture right here. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to save link or save image as. And I'm going to save it to that folder that I put called Colorsplash. Let's call it Steph before. Okay. And then let's go find another picture. So let's go to football. I'm a Colts fan, so I think I'm gonna. The reason I'm a Colts fan is because of Peyton Manning. So let's get a picture of Peyton Manning as a Colt before he was a Bronco, and we'll do something with him. So let's see. A good one right there. So I'm going to save image as. I'm going to call it Peyton before. And let's save that to my Colorsplash folder again. Ooh, I didn't save that other picture to the right folder. Let's fix that. So if I open up my Explorer, my Steph before is not where it's supposed to be, so I'm going to put that where it's supposed to be. So there's my Colorsplash folder there, so I'm just going to drag it into that folder. So now if I open this folder, I've got 2 pictures. Good. Okay. So now let's go look at, let's go with soccer. I'm an Arsenal fan when it comes to soccer. Find a good picture here. I like this one. It's a good looking pic right there. So I'm going to save image as. Let's call it Arsenal before. Now I got to find 2 more pictures. So let's see. What's another good sport? I'm a big tennis guy, so I like Rafa Nadal. So, what's a good picture of Rafa? I like this picture right here. Lefty, just like me. So I'm going to save that image. I'm going to call it Rafa before. Let's find one more picture. Let's go with what's another sports related picture that I could do? Basketball. Baseballs. Nah. Let's go with golf. So who's a big golf guy right now? I've always liked Phil Mickelson. So let's find a good picture of Phil. Oh, that's good. He's lefty too. I'm gonna save that image. And oh, see how that says WebP file? That's a bad image, so we don't want that. So let's find a different one. It's kind of cool if I can get that. As JPEG. Good, so let's call that Phil before. Okay, so now if I go into my folder, hopefully I've got 5 before pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can go in and do my after images. Okay, now that I've got my 5 before images, I got 5 different sports themes. You do not have to do a sports theme. You can have your own theme, or they can be random pictures that you find on the internet. I've got 5. I put them in a folder on my desktop called Colorsplash. So I'm going to go to the editor and I'm going to ignore ads, and then I'm going to open one of my images. So I've got my Colorsplash poster here. I'm going to start with the Steph picture, and so now what we do is we've got to see our layers. Okay, rewind. So on these next assignments, we don't need just the photography restore section of Pixlr. Pixlr has 2 products. They have their advanced Pixlr editor, which we're now going to use, and then what we were using before was just like the Pixlr X, which is kind of just retouching and cropping and resizing and that sort of thing. So when we go to just pixlr.com right here, that's where you're going to see the 2 different products. So what we want is the editor, and so now if I open up my image there, it's going to look a lot different as far as the tools are concerned. So let's open that up, and so now I can see like my layers over here, and the tools, there's a lot more tools. It's more Photoshop like. So what I want to do, what I'm doing now is resizing my picture. If you have a scroll wheel on your mouse, you can do it that way, or I believe there's a way to do it with like Control plus and minus, so you can do that. And the way to do Colorsplash, basically what we're doing is we're adding a layer, and then the layer that's on top of the original layer is going to be desaturated, which means that it's black and white, and then we're going to use the eraser tool to like reveal some color. So I think what I'm going to do is make this black and white, and then I'm going to reveal the orange of the ball. So I will right click on this layer, do I have to unlock it first? Okay, when I right click on this layer, I have my the things that I could do with this layer over here, and so here are some of our options, and what I want to do is actually duplicate that layer. So that's what I'm going to do. And so now I have my original layer, and then I have my second layer on top. If I go now to adjustment and desaturate, and make sure that you're on this layer, not the original layer. I'm going to go to desaturate. Just because my picture's, yep. So I'm going to desaturate. So now I've got black and white. I've got the original. You can't see the original because the second layer is on top of that. If I were to uncheck this, you would see the original layer only. So I'm going to check that. And then what I'm going to do is use my eraser tool, which is, where is the eraser tool? One tool. Here's the eraser tool. So here's the eraser tool, and I just want the orange ball right there. So I can change my brush size, smaller or larger. So if I were to change the size of my eraser like that, then you can see that's way too big. So to do just the ball, let's maybe go down. Yeah, that's too big as well, so I want to go with that'll work. So I'm just going to reveal the color of the ball, and then to really fine-tune this, what I want to do is like actually zoom in and maybe use a smaller brush size to get in there, so I can kind of get in there like this and do my very best not to put color on the surrounding area, and I'm going to try to avoid his fingers as much as I can to make it look good. So what I can do to do that is change my brush size even smaller. Oop, maybe not that small. Let's go maybe like that. Okay, that's better. And then I can again use my scroll wheel or Control Plus to zoom in. And then I'm going to use a small brush like this, which is erasing the top layer to reveal the color of what I want to reveal, which in this case is the orange basketball. So I'm going in there, erasing the top layer just around the ball. I'm trying to avoid his fingers because I don't want to see his fingers, I just want to see the ball. So now that's not too bad. Okay, so now if I scroll back out, it's not too bad, that looks good, looks pretty good. So the entire picture is black and white now, with the exception of the orange basketball. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save it as a JPEG, and instead of Steph Before, I'm going to call it Steph After. High image, that's what I want. Okay, good. So I'm going to download that, and then that's in my downloads folder now. So to get it into the correct folder, what I can do is show it in my Explorer. So there's my Colorsplash folder right there. So now I have 5 befores and I have 1 after right there. So you'll continue doing that for all of your photos. I'm going to do one more and then show you the upload process for getting it to Google Drive or OneDrive. So let's open up another image. So I'm going to go to New Image, and I'm going to open it. I'm going to do, let's do the Peyton one, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to duplicate the layer, and then I'm going to adjust, I'm going to do desaturate, and then I'm going to use my eraser tool again. Okay, that's, change this to a little bigger size. Oh, that's too big. So like that much. Okay, that'll give me a lot of this. I'm just going to do the football. And maybe you want to do, like, if you do a sports theme, maybe you want to do like a jersey or something instead of the playing equipment, and that's fine. You get to pick what you want to reveal the color on. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to fine tune this so I get just the edges of the football, like so. I want to avoid the surrounding background as much as possible. Like I touched a little bit of the outside, I can see the blue, but I'm not going to go back and fix it because I just want to show you the process here. Oh, I got a little bit of his finger. So it really depends on how much of a perfectionist you are as far as how good you want this to look. So that's not too bad. I zoom it all the way back out. Yeah, I see some of his fingers, so that's not the best. So anyway, I've got that. So again, I can go to Save, and instead of Peyton Before, I'm going to call it Peyton After, and we'll download that. Okay, so for Colorsplash, we are going to do something similar to turn this in that we have been doing like on a Google Doc, but I think we'll switch to slide this time. So let me get into the student section here so that I can show you what I mean by that. So for Colorsplash project, oh, I got to actually make it active first so I can show you that, so let's do that. So now that Colorsplash is an option, I'm going to click in here and I'm going to view the assignment, and just like we've done with some of our other assignments, we're going to add a document, but instead of doc, let's do slides. and we're going to do our before and after pictures for Colorsplash. And so we can just do simply Colorsplash project by, you're going to put your name. Oh, but my student name is James. I better do that. Got to keep it consistent, and then we're just going to add slides. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll do before number 1, after number 1, before number 2, after number 2, and so forth. I think you've got the pattern. Then we're going to bring in the pictures. So insert image and where you saved them. I'm not sure what you did, but I saved them in a folder, I believe. There's the Colorsplash. So my first before, let's go with Steph. And I'll make sure I can see my title, so that's good. And I'm going to put my after. So insert after for Steph, which is this Colorsplash image because it's got the black and white background, but only a splash of color with the basketball, and so forth. So you got before, after, before, after, before, after, and then you're going to turn it in, and that's it. Good luck and have fun, and I will see you in class for any additional questions.